Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time. Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time.
Space-time. Wasting space-time.
Wasting space-time.
Time.
Wasting space-time.
Welcome everybody to Wasting Space Time. This is Scientology Part 2. We're here with the goats, James and Sydney.
Yeah.
What up, what up? It's James.
Let's go. Hey, before we start, I have to make something known. I'm sorry, this is super off topic, but just a little palate cleanser. Before I say anything, do you own any NFTs or crypto?
Me? No.
Oh, okay, cool. So crypto crashed, and I'm super happy about it. That's all I had to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't have too much faith in. I don't know. Like I
did not either.
With like the big ones, like I'm sure they will like Ethereum and Bitcoin is what I'm talking about for the most part. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be systems of like transactions or payment systems like available to use that where it'll be useful. But like anything else where you're like gambling on it, that seems not very, I don't know, smart to me.
I agree, 100%.
I went into a store the other day and there was a Bitcoin like vending machine there.
Oh, I've seen things like that, yeah.
You can turn in like old cell phones and get like Bitcoin and stupid shit.
Really?
I think so. I think it's kind of like a dump box, and I don't know
I didn't really
if I'm
look
not
into
mistaken.
it.
Yeah,
The future's weird, man.
I could be wrong, but I've seen those before. My bad that I got us on a tangent. I apologize, but
Oh, you're good.
I hate crypto.
I had something I wanted to shove in at the beginning of the episode too before I forget. It's actually something that I wanted to tell you guys in episode 1 about Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
It was that for both Woody Derenberger's, is that something like that, whatever, both his house and just like the TNT factory area in Point Pleasant, tons and tons of like West Virginia folk were turning up to try to hunt and kill the Mothman or Injured Cold. So like crowds would gather of people like staking out like Woody's house at night, hoping Injured Cold comes to visit and they can shoot him.
Oh my
Damn.
god, that's wild.
Yeah, I just
Holy
thought that was
shit.
funny, like 1960s West Virginia.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
Oh, and then I also said I should look into Marjorie Cameron more, the lady that was summoned as the elemental.
Oh, and the
Oh.
Scientology.
Right, yeah, and Parsons and Hubbard's, what was it called? The Babylon Working.
Yeah, the sex magic thing.
Said acted as his Scarlet Woman.
Yeah, last time I said I should look into her more, so I did a little bit. After being honorably discharged from the Navy in 1945, she moved to Pasadena, California, where her parents lived. She was introduced to Jack Parsons by an old Navy friend, and he was struck by her red hair and intriguing look. He believed her to be the Scarlet Woman he'd been searching for with his sex magic experiments. Parsons got her up to speed on her mythical lore and dubbed her Candida. They were married the next year. Parsons' occult involvement led to extended investigations by the FBI and led to the termination of his government defense work. The couple's plan to leave for Mexico was foiled in 1952 when Parsons' garage laboratory mysteriously exploded, killing Parsons. It's said to be caused by Parsons dropping a vial of fulminate of mercury, and many of his fellow occultists believed that the circumstances of his death were more mysterious than the official story.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm guessing they believe the government took Parsons out.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
assume that's what they do.
So, all right. I think that's all I had and that I wanted to get rid of, like, at the very beginning.
Sound good.
We were still talking just kind of about L. Ron Hubbard last time and just Scientology as a whole concept a bit.
Yeah.
I have, like, a few, like, notable things that I thought were interesting here about L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, because like there's like more information about it if you want to look it up, but it's kind of a lot of just weird shit. So like, I don't know. We talked about him writing like 1,000 books. He could come up with like a lot of stuff. So it's just like not even worth. I don't know. Like I'm trying to cover the most important stuff, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I know exactly what you're saying.
There's a lot. He's done a lot.
Yeah. Science fiction writers, pretty, like, big blanket statement. I mean, you gotta be pretty out there to write some really good science fiction, dude.
I don't know. I've never read any of his
Well, yeah,
stuff.
I know. I'm saying, like, to write that much science fiction, you gotta be a wild.
Or just really passionate about it.
Yeah. That makes more sense, but mine was funnier, yeah.
I think they're both true. A wild, passionate dude.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to describe him.
I guess we'll start with the affirmations, or also referred to as admissions. It was written around 1946 or 1947 by L. Ron Hubbard, even though it does not list an author, but pretty likely L. Ron Hubbard. A few years before he established Dianetics. Well, I'll just read through them. We can talk about our analysis of this, or Hubbard's psychology or self-image based on these things, but it's just a list, so I'll just read through this list here.
Okay.
These are from Course 1. There's 2 courses and the book, and I don't know. I don't think we want to read all these, but we'll read a few.
Okay.
I can write. My mind is still brilliant. That masturbation was no sin or crime. That I do not need to have ulcers anymore. That I am fortunate in losing Polly and my parents, for they never meant well by me. That I believe in my gods and spiritual things. That my magical work is powerful and effective. That the numbers 7, 25, and 16 are not unlucky or evil for me. That I am not bad to look upon, that I am not susceptible to colds, that Sarah is always beautiful to me, that these words and commands are like fire and will sear themselves into every corner of my being, making me happy and well and confident forever.
That was just wild.
Like, okay, like, they're actually pretty interesting, but I want to know if, like, when he was, like, so he wrote these, right? L. Ron did?
Yes, likely.
So when he was, oh yeah, I forgot, list no author. Like, highly likely that L. Ron wrote this. When he wrote these, like, he was just like, you know what, ulcers and colds really piss me off. Let me throw that in there real quick. I can't get ulcers and I can't get colds. It's so out of left field.
I do like that one that he's not susceptible to colds. The one about ulcers, I wonder. There's another one I remember. That reminds me of that. I wonder if it's a similar case. It's from Course 2. Your stomach trouble you used as an excuse to keep the Navy from punishing you. You are free of the Navy. Your eyes are getting progressively better. They became bad when you used them as an excuse to escape the Naval Academy. You have no reason to keep them bad.
You know, I like the masturbation does not injure or make insane. Your parents were in error. Everyone masturbates.
Wait, your parents were in error? Oh, were in error.
Yeah.
I thought he meant like your parents were like a mistake.
They never should have met each other.
Yeah, I feel like these are very targeted at like things he does not like. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like he's trying to manifest these things for himself.
Right. Yeah, I see them as manifestations where he would read through this like over and over to like program himself in like the same kind of way that spells or something might work in like a subtle, like it might be in the back of your mind even if you're not thinking about it, and he was trying to take advantage of that with these phrases with himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, just these are pretty, honestly, this is like probably the most open and intimate view of like L. Ron Hubbard that we're ever gonna get. He seems very straightforward, and I don't know, I'm guessing this wasn't meant to be seen with no author.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
it's interesting too because from what I hear, this is like really good for you, like mentally. Actually, like
Like,
writing stuff down like this and like reading it over and over to yourself or
Yeah.
like saying it out
Right.
loud.
Thinking about
I've
your
heard
goals.
that's like really good for your mental health.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just the ability to kind of step back and almost third person view it and like land something is, yeah, I don't know. And especially
Yeah.
day after day, if you're writing it down and like checking your progress or whatever you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
it's very helpful.
Yeah, but maybe
This dude's wild though.
he was just testing out his thetan theory, getting rid of all his thetans.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Good point.
that's probably, honestly, like true. Like I don't
Because
know.
you said it came out before. He was just testing it out.
Here's one I like. Snakes are not dangerous to you. There are no snakes in the bottom of your bed.
Yeah, that's definitely specific if I had to say so myself.
You did a fine job in the Navy. No one there is now out to get you. You are psychic. You do not masturbate. You do not know anger. Your patience is infinite.
You are psychic. You do not masturbate. That's so wild.
So
There's
yeah,
also,
I just thought.
Sorry,
Sorry.
there's also you will live to be 200 years old.
I wish. I mean, he could have been on the podcast right now if he did.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome, bro. Could you imagine? The pool, bro. Could you imagine?
Our guest today is a renowned Scientologist, 168 years old, L. Ron Hubbard.
Let's go.
I don't know how old he'd be. I just made that number up, but it'd be,
Yeah. I trusted you on that.
yeah. Well, I'll edit that part out then.
Oh,
Just
no,
kidding.
fine.
It's
You
meta
can
now.
keep
I'm leaving it all in.
It's meta now.
You could have told me that was right, and I would have been like, yeah, I believe you. Don't need to look it up myself.
Bro, can you imagine if we got him on the pod and then we're like, oh, by the way, there's someone I want you to meet. Leah Vermini, can you come out here real quick, please?
It's like the H3 and Sam Cedar and Crowder. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I know what you're
about.
Yeah. Where he surprises them.
Oh my God, no!
They
It's a
did that to Ty
nightmare.
Lopez, too. They pulled out a lawyer on him while they were talking to him on the podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
sorry.
good.
I'm going on an H3 tangent.
All right. Anyway, I also noted Excalibur, which was an unpublished manuscript written in 1938 by L. Ron Hubbard. The contents of Excalibur formed the basis for Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, which was the 1950 book, and some of Hubbard's later publications. Although Hubbard never published Excalibur, he made frequent references to the work as part of his role in Scientology. And last time I said you weren't going to believe it when you were asking about the, like if he was felt like he was a prophet, like with a connection to God, or where he got his message from.
Yeah.
This is it. In April 1938, Hubbard reportedly underwent a dental procedure and reacted to the drug used in the procedure. According to his account, this triggered a revelatory near-death experience. Allegedly inspired by this experience, Hubbard composed a manuscript which was never published, with working titles of The One Command or Excalibur. The contents of Excalibur formed the basis for some of his later publications. He first tried to sell it for $1,500 a copy in 1957. His ad cautioned that 4 of the first 15 people who read it went insane. In 1962, Hubbard wrote a letter addressed to President Kennedy in which he claimed Soviet agents had stolen a manuscript of Excalibur in 1950. In 1964, Hubbard gave an interview claiming that Soviet agents had offered him $100,000 in laboratory facilities he needed in the USSR so that he could complete his work. In an introduction published in 1991, Hubbard was talking about his near-death experience. Under the influence of the gas, he speculates that my heart must have stopped beating. He described his experience as slipping through the curtain and into the land of shades. A published excerpt introduced a story. Once upon a time, according to a writer in the Arabian Nights, there lived a very wise old man. The old man attempts to collect and distill all the knowledge in the world, after narrowing the work from a massive volume down to a single page and finally a single sentence. All life is directed by one command, and one command only: survive. And that was essentially a summary of Excalibur, which turned into Dianetics and Scientology.
Interesting.
That's like a super hard ass ad for Minecraft. One command only: survive.
Okay, so
Didn't think of Minecraft when I was reading it, but now like all the words are right and it totally clicks in my head.
all I can see is so have you seen Soul Eater?
Soul Eater?
Yeah.
No.
It's an anime and it has Excalibur in it. So basically there's weapons and there's misers, and weapons are people too, but they turn into weapons and have different
Oh,
powers.
hell yeah.
Well, one of them is Excalibur, and he's this little, like, all white dude, and he has a cane, and he looks
like
like
a little white
comic
cartoon
book
figure.
Yeah, like and he
Like
just like
Mr. Sorry, Game & Watch or whatever.
yeah. And he just calls everyone you fool, and he has a list of like 1,000 rules that you have to follow to be his miser, because he's like the most powerful like weapon. And all I can see is like Hubbard just talked to Excalibur from Soul Eater, and that's how he came up with Dianetics in Scientology.
Sorry, this is also off topic. I was gonna ask, have you seen Uzumaki, the movie based on like the Junji Ito book?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Wow, it's pretty good. And they're also making an anime about it that's supposed to be out in like the next year or something. So
Okay, cool.
maybe that'll catch your interest when it comes out.
Yeah,
It
I'll
will
have to
catch
look
her
for
interest for sure.
Look for it. He sounds so sad.
There's like a trailer, and then it looks pretty good.
Cool.
The movie I watched was from like 2000 or 2002 or something. A lot of the effects were kind of like cheesy and funny, but it was really good overall. I liked it.
That's good. Dion's so thrilled. He's like, yay, more anime.
I subscribe
Sorry,
to YouTube
Dion.
Premium. I only watch YouTube. No, it's all good. I respect
Sorry,
anime.
off tangent, but that's just the thing that comes to my mind whenever I hear Excalibur.
Yeah, and you were talking about like anime, so I was thinking like Japanese movie that I watched the other day.
No, you're all good.
I found what I was looking for. Forrest J. Ackerman was Hubbard's literary agent, and that's not really important, but in a 1949 letter to Ackerman, Hubbard was talking about Excalibur. He said, "Dark sword, cause and cure of nervous tension. Properly, the science of mind. Really, Excalibur." But yeah, so that's, I don't know, that actually sounds pretty badass. I don't really know what to think of it, but Hubbard promises that the work will give the reader the power to rape women without their knowing it, communicate suicide messages to your enemies as they sleep, sell the Arroyo Seco Parkway to the mayor for cash, evolve the best way of protecting or destroying communism, and other handy household hints. And that's in quotes.
Other handy household hints.
What a way to end those lists.
Yo, that
I'll say this, it sounds powerful.
Yeah.
it definitely does.
I want it.
I'm not particularly fond of the woman part, but yes, the rest is very interesting.
Yeah, well, the suicide messages to the enemies as
Yeah.
they sleep.
Yeah, that was. It sounds like
That
he's
and the
trying to
assault,
make
yeah.
a statement, especially with those first two.
I'm not sure what the Arroyo Seco Parkway. I'm not sure what's notable about that. I don't know why you'd be selling it to the mayor for cash, so I don't really know the meaning of that one. But
Yeah.
it kind of struck me as funny.
So specific.
Yeah. And then also the promise to either protect or destroy communism, whichever you see fit.
He doesn't want to say he's for or against it.
I don't want to take a side.
So he said that you could sexually assault women and then said, but you can choose to destroy communism. That's up to you.
It's like your X gene activating, and you have to choose how to use it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting. That's quite a claim about your book.
Yes, it is.
No, that was nuts.
Here was someone else. They were trying to... I mean, like, the details on his, like, dental procedure were kind of hazy. Here's someone recalling that he had a few teeth extracted, and it was while he was under the effect of nitrous oxide that he came up with Excalibur. Here's another... This is a letter from Hubbard to a friend in 1949, another science fiction writer. Well, you didn't specify in your book what actual reformation took place in the society to make supermen. Got to thinking about it the other day. The system is Excalibur. It makes null A's. And then null A is referring to The World of Null A, another 1948 science fiction novel by a third author. Its name is a reference to non-Aristotelian logic. I don't know. It's just a rabbit hole. It's not worth going any farther than that.
L. Ron Hubbard's life is just a rabbit hole.
But yeah, imagine trying to talk to this dude.
Deep diving and finding out more stuff about him.
Yeah. I bring a handful of threads that I hand to you, listeners.
Hey, I'm
take
down for it.
Take the pieces you want, and
if you want to
see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
It'll help. It's good that you do that because it'll help. Because once you explain the story of Scientology and how they think the world was created, people will be like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah. We're getting close. I'm excited. Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health, the book that kind of started all of Scientology in a sense, was published in 1950. I mentioned this last time, but it's sometimes called Book 1 by Scientologists.
Yeah.
The first church...
I remember you saying that, sorry.
Oh, you're good. The first church of Scientology was founded in 1954, 4 years after the publication of Dianetics. And I'll just note here, there's a volcano on the cover of a lot of Dianetics books, so just remember that.
Okay.
And then there's somewhere between 3,000 and 11,000 churches now, like worldwide. And it's hard to narrow that down very much. I've seen people count the ones that are listed online, and I talked about this. It's just hard to get a real answer, so somewhere between 3,000 and 11,000. All right, are you ready for the truth, the real story of Scientology?
Let's go! This is so hype.
Here we go. As you rank to the level of OT3, called the Wall of Fire, a larger, stranger story is revealed to you. 75 million years ago, the galactic overlord for this sector of the galaxy was called Xenu. He was in charge of 76 planets, including Earth, at that time known as Kigiak.
All of the planets Xenu controlled were overpopulated by, on average, 178 billion people. Social problems dictated that Xenu rid his sector of the galaxy of this overpopulation problem, so he developed a plan.
Seniors sent out tax audit demands to all these trillions of people as each one entered the audit centers. For the income tax inspections, the people were seized, held down, and injected with a mixture of alcohol and glycerin. Yeah, is that right? We're going to move on. And frozen. Then all 13.5 trillion of these frozen people were put into spaceships that looked exactly like DC-8 airplanes, except that the spaceships had rocket engines instead of propellers.
I love that part. I love that it's a human's, like, it's a human plane that we've already made, and that's what the spaceships look like in the story. Just a strange coincidence. They look like DC-8s.
That's so funny.
Xenu's entire fleet of DC-8-like spaceships then flew to planet Earth, where the frozen people were dumped in and around volcanoes in the Canary Islands and the Hawaiian Islands. When Xenu's Air Force had finished dumping the bodies into the volcanoes, hydrogen bombs were dropped into the volcanoes, and the frozen space aliens were vaporized. What the hell?
What the hell?
You gotta nuke them after they're in the inside of a volcano? Is that really necessary, Xenu?
That's a good point. They're
Apparently
already
he
trapped.
thought it was. After they've been injected with stuff and frozen and thrown into a volcano. You thought they'd be dead after frozen.
I'll say it, that's fucked up.
I agree. That is fucked up. However, Xenu's plan involved setting up electronic traps in Tigiak's atmosphere, which were designed to trap the souls or spirits of the dead space aliens. When the 13.5 trillion spirits were being blown around on the nuclear winds, the electric traps worked like a charm and captured all the souls in the electronic, sticky, flypaper-like traps.
That's just... He threw them in the volcano and nuked them, and I thought that was rough. But just in case their souls escaped, he had robots in the atmosphere to harvest their souls.
He really needed their souls.
My gosh,
Yeah.
bro.
And I like the sticky flypaper-like traps catching the souls. I like the image of that too. That's electronic and yeah, I don't know, wild stuff.
Dude threw him in a Brita filter.
Description. I love it. It makes this story even better.
Yeah.
Okay, the spirits of the aliens were then taken to huge multiplex cinemas that Xenu had previously instructed his forces to build on Tigak. In these movie theaters, the spirits had to spend many days watching special 3D movies, the purpose of which was twofold. One, to implant into these spirits a false reality, example, the reality that WOGS, Hubbard's desensory term for anyone not a Scientologist, knows on Earth today, and to control these spirits for all eternity so that they can never cause trouble for Xenu in this sector of the galaxy. During these films, many false pictures and stories were implanted into these spirits, which resulted in the spirits believing in all these things that controlled mankind on Earth today, including religion. The concept of religion, including God, Christ, Muhammad, Moses, etc., were all an implanted false reality that to this very minute are used to control WOGS on Earth.
That is crazy. Like a matrix system where they're programming humans to believe about Jesus and Muhammad. It's like a multiplex cinema. Just a crazy image trying to picture this.
In 3D
wild.
movies, where these spirits wearing the 3D glasses.
It's like a VR chat in the holodeck with Jesus.
Yeah.
I just like that it's movie theaters too.
I know, it's a very funny picture.
And I also do like how the whole South Park description was correct.
Yeah, so on
they
point.
They literally hit the nail on the head, and that's all I'm thinking about as we read through these sections. I just remember the part of the South Park episode where that happened.
You're picturing the animation in your head
Yeah,
as he's reading it. I
yeah.
am too. I am picturing what Xenu looks like from their drawings that they made.
Yes, it was just so spot on.
Mm-hmm. No, they nailed it.
And it seems over the top if you're watching the animation. So it's wild that that's actually what they believe, which is makes it even funnier that they're flashy and this is what Scientologists actually believe.
Exactly,
Yes.
because watching it, I was like, this has to be paraphrased a little bit or made more goofy. No, that was all fucking real. That was not.
So I
Wow.
wonder if how they describe how the Book of Mormon was created. is like actually what the Mormons believe in too.
That was probably real too, yeah.
If they got this spot on, like,
They're smart guys.
Yeah, I don't
sorry, I went off on a tangent there.
Oh, you're good.
Well, when the films ended and the souls left the cinema, they started to stick together in clusters of a few thousand and remained that way until mankind began to inhabit the earth. Today on Earth, all the spirits of these aliens have attached themselves to our bodies and are the root cause of the false reality that all but Scientology's Homo Novus, or OT8s, on Earth experience. It is the job of all Scientologists to remove this false reality from the world by auditing each and every space alien, spirit, and human on Earth, and the entire universe to clear. That is a lofty goal.
Yeah.
For those who oppose Scientology and stand in their way, like the Lisa McPherson Trust and all Scientology critics, Scientology promises to do away with them quietly and without sorrow.
Wow.
I think that's very threatening.
He
Like,
name dropped.
but also the quietly and without sorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's
really
a
weird.
straight up threat to, like, don't oppose me in Scientology.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into the Lisa McPherson thing, but that is to call them out like that, says that they're just trying to stand in Scientology's way. We'll get to that, but that's just like victim blaming. It's like a crime associated with Scientology. Whatever. All right. We've calculated that on average, each person on planet Earth has 2,209 body thetans.
Damn. I got a lot of thetans.
Yeah.
Need to go exercise my thetans. If I have that many. Dang. I just, like, it just feels like not more of a threat, but like trying to put people in panic, like saying you have this many. Like, and people
Right.
see that that's a high number.
They say you are a thetan, though, right? Like your soul that is like conscious. So are you trying to go like get rid of all but one? Can you like audit too far and be like an NPC?
That would be awesome.
Walking around like Mark Zuckerberg.
That was his goal all along. Ron L. Hubbard, he just wanted
He wanted to make
NPCs
everyone
everywhere.
an NPC.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, yeah. If you like combine that like a subscription NPC where they're like paying you all the time,
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
that's pretty close to the situation here. I included here. I found the original journal entry from Hubbard from 1968. Before this was like included in Scientology. So this is the genesis, the OG Xenu story. The first time it was written down. The head of the Galactic Confederation, parentheses, 76 planets around larger stars visible from here, close parentheses, open parentheses, founded 95 million years ago, very space opera, close parentheses, solved overpopulation, open parentheses, 250 billion or so per planet, dash, 178 billion on average, close parentheses, by mass implanting. He caused people to be brought to Tigiak, Earth, and put an H-bomb on the principal volcanoes, Incident 2, and then the Pacific area ones were taken in boxes to Hawaii and the Atlantic area ones to Las Palmas, and there packaged. His name was Xenu. He used renegades. Various misleading data by means of circuits, etc., was placed in the implants when, through his crime, loyal officers to the people captured him after 6 years of battle and put him in an electronic mountain trap where he still is. They, in quotes, are gone. The place, confidential, I think. It says confed.
I think
Has since been a desert. So, it's like it's worse than AI writing a poem or something.
Wow. Yeah, that was very Intense. Very
So-
many parentheses and quotes.
Yeah.
Xenu is still alive somewhere.
In the desert, if I'm reading this right.
Let's fucking go.
Or an electronic mountain trap.
I love how he always has to specify, not James, but L. Ron Hubbard. I love how L. Ron Hubbard always,
Oh, I've
has
been
to
calling him by
specify-
the wrong name this whole entire time.
yeah, it's L. Ron.
That's fine. He's Ron.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you calling him?
Ron L. Hubbard. He's Ron L. Hubbard in my mind.
Oh, I never noticed that.
I got away with it.
I think it's funny that L. Ron specifies that everything's electronic.
Let me fix that for you. It's Ron L. Thank you.
Run out.
Ron L. Yeah, I'll go back and like swap every time you say it.
This was just, yeah, wild.
Yeah, I'm looking at the controversies now, which is like the not as fun. All right, whatever. The Church of Scientology is a highly controversial organization. The first point of controversy was its challenge of the psychotherapeutic establishment. Another was a 1991 Time magazine article that attacked the organization, which responded with a major lawsuit that was rejected by the court as baseless early in 1992. A third is its religious tax status in the United States, as the IRS granted the organization tax-exempt status in 1993. It has been in conflict with the governments and police forces of many countries, including the United States, the UK, Canada, France, and Germany. It has been one of the most litigious religious movements in history, filing countless lawsuits against governments, organizations, and individuals. Reports and allegations have been made by journalists, courts, and governmental bodies of several countries that the Church of Scientology is an unscrupulous commercial enterprise that harasses its critics and brutally exploits its members. A considerable amount of investigation has been aimed at the organization by groups ranging from the media to governmental agencies. The controversies involving the church and its critics, some of them ongoing, include
Criminal behavior by members of the church, including the infiltration of the United States government, organized harassment of people perceived as enemies of the church, Scientology's disconnect policy in which some members are required to shun friends or family members who are acting, I can't even speak.
Antagonistic.
Yeah, to the church. Sorry, I cannot say that word. The death of Scientologist Lisa McPherson while in the care of the organization. Oh shit, she died. Didn't say how. Attempts to legally force search engines to censor information critical of the church. Allegations the church leader David Miscavige, I don't know
That's
his
right.
last name. Fuck that guy. Beats and demoralizes staff. Oh yeah, really fuck that guy. And that physical violence by superiors towards staff working for them is a common occurrence in I cannot speak. Organization. I am so tongue tied.
You're good.
Oh, and then the spokesman denied these claims and provided witnesses to refute them. And yeah, that was all of them.
yeah. So
Definitely sounds like a lot.
It really is a business, though.
right, yeah.
That's big facts. They don't even operate like a church.
It's almost like opening franchises too, and they like kind of renovate them on purpose, like
Yeah.
at the right times to like somehow like save money with taxes or something. Or I guess they're tax exempt. I was reading an article about how they were like updating churches that no one even really went to, but they'd like give them a whole makeover. I can't remember the reason of that now that I'm talking about it on the podcast.
It's like they be doing to like Wendy's and McDonald's. And
Right?
shit,
Yeah,
you know?
giving it a fresh new,
It's like same thing,
yeah, fresh
probably.
new look.
Like randomly, like it's like randomly when all the McDonald's and Wendy's just turned into like big squares now with just one little like logo. Like all of them have turned into like super modern like square like all window buildings, and then there's just like one red spot where it says Wendy's or McDonald's.
We love
I
modernity.
mean,
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
you like see a new building, you're gonna want to check it out on the inside.
Yeah.
Like a
And they got
renovated building.
Scientologist money, so those buildings probably look wild, bro.
They actually are nice buildings. I'm a big fan of the one in LA that has that like retro-futuristic kind of Art Deco
Isn't that
look.
like the main
Yeah,
one?
right.
Like the really big one?
The one that's on the
Yeah.
cover of these.
Yeah, that one's wild.
I'm not going to get into any details just because it's like I'll just read the subtitles of the rest of this controversies section on Wikipedia just to give you the idea.
Okay.
Criminal behavior, organized harassment, violation of auditing confidentiality, disconnection, allegations of coerced abortions, allegation of human trafficking and other crimes against women. There's disputes over whether it should be considered a church, like even like we're talking about, which is like kind of a, I don't know, Sydney, you talked about last time how it's like it is already like banned or not considered a church in other countries.
Yeah, in some countries labeled it as a cult.
Right. So, yeah. I also wanted to mention the R245 is a name given by L. Ron Hubbard to what he described as an enormously effective process for exteriorization, but its use is frowned upon by the society at this time. That was a quote. It refers to exteriorization as the separation of the thetan from the body, essentially the soul leaving the body. R245 is said to be a process by which exteriorization could be produced by shooting a person in the head with a .45 caliber pistol.
Holy shit.
So basically killing someone.
Yeah, your thetan leaves your body in the process of exteriorization, the R245 process.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
In a 1961 lecture, he said, "If that fails you, well, you've always got suicide. You could propose that to the pre-clear. That would solve his problems. R245 by its various other techniques."
Gosh, so he's
I've
basically
always got suicide.
being like, yeah, you can kill
You
yourself.
know, if things, yeah, that's essentially what he says. Yeah. The Santa Rosa News Herald reported in 1982 that attorneys have uncovered evidence to suggest that between 1975 and 1977, during the FBI's investigation of the cult, meetings of Scientology executives were held in which there were discussions relative to auditing, and auditing is in quotes here, because they were auditing via the R245 process, or that was the plan. Anyway, planning how to audit FBI members with the R245 process, if you know what I'm saying.
So they're just trying to take out FBI members.
They're trying to take over the government, it sounds like.
I
That's
mean,
crazy. Holy shit.
if Scientology, I don't know, the R245 does sound like a immensely powerful process.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I was gonna say, I think it's funny that that he's like, well, if you can't get somebody to murder you, you could always just murder yourself. That's basically
Yeah.
what he's saying.
God gave you a hand for a reason.
Oh my goodness, this dude.
I also wanted to mention Shelley Miscavige, David Miscavige, or Miscavige. I'm not sure where the enunciation is. I've seen Leah Remini talking about, she was friends, like kind of distant friends with Shelley through the church, it sounded like, from what I've heard. Anyway, Shelley stopped appearing in public in June 2006. She was last seen at her father's funeral in 2007, escorted by handlers from the church. Some former members of the Sea Org have said that they believe Miscavige is being held against her will at the compound of the Scientologist Church of Spiritual Technology Corporation near the mountain town of Running Springs, California.
So this man's just had, like, keeping his wife held hostage.
I'm hoping she's still alive. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. They say the way, if you believe their story, she's like a very devout Scientologist and like stays just completely private and isolated. But being like escorted to your father's funeral as like the first time you're allowed to leave in a year, and then being dead air until, I mean, what, we're almost 15 years later now, from 2007.
Yeah, that's also like, isn't her husband seen like on TV and stuff a lot? Well, like probably in the church a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's the like new president, so he's like probably the most public like member.
Yeah, so I don't know. Wouldn't you want to have your wife like there with you? I feel like I don't know. Like a lot of politicians and stuff have their family to like make them feel more human or like show that they love family or stuff. So I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like a head of a church would want to have that, but
Yeah, for real.
I could be wrong.
Reading through, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just conspiracy braining or something. On the Shelley Miscavige page, when I read through it, it sounded upset at Leah Remini for like going to the police department about her being missing, because it sounds like they paid like the police off because they never saw her. They saw like a representative of her when they went to investigate, and likely, I mean, they're top of the Scientology tower, or pyramid rather. So yeah, they had enough to like pay off officers, and I'm guessing that's what happened.
Damn.
Yeah, so just unfortunate, and I hope Shelley Miscavige is okay. I'm guessing like this is probably just rumor too, but I was hearing that she was like kind of getting cold feet or something about like either their relationship or something, and then that's when she stopped appearing in public.
I see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting. I my conspiracy brain on.
And then I just included a few. We've talked every time about Scientologists that were like celebrities, and that's like kind of probably one reason we wanted to look into this was because you hear about like high profile people that are, and you're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? And it's very intentional. This is from a policy letter from 1976. Rehabilitation of celebrities who are just beyond or just approaching their prime enables the rapid dissemination of Scientology. Part of the plan since at least 1976 to get public faces.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is a quote from L. Ron Hubbard. Celebrities are very special people and have a very distinct line of dissemination. They have communication lines that others do not have, and many medias to get their dissemination through. And then I have another note from Hugh Urban, a professor of religious studies at OSU.
Hey.
That's my alma mater.
I didn't go to college.
Same. Let's go.
I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't finish. All right,
Same.
moving on.
Also same. Let's go. Also same. Let's go.
All right, I'm speaking as Hugh Urban when I say this next part. But then I think the reason that celebrities would be interested is because it's a religion that fits pretty well with a celebrity kind of personality. It's very individualistic. It celebrates your individual identity as ultimately divine. It claims to give you the ultimate power over your own mind, self, destiny, and so I think it fits well with an actor personality. And then the wealth question. These aren't people who need more wealth, but what do they need, or often want at least, is some kind of spiritual validation for their wealth and lifestyle. And Scientology is a religion that says it's okay to be wealthy, it's okay to be famous. In fact, that's a sign of your spiritual development. So, it kind of is a spiritual validation for that kind of lifestyle.
Holy shit. That man summed it up perfectly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He summed up why celebrities would like it. So good.
Elegantly put.
Damn.
I just included some of the people that I were like familiar with here. So anyways, here are a few. Another thing I'm not sure about is if these are all present Scientologists or if they have been in the past. Anyway, here's John Travolta, Tom Cruise, Kirstie Alley from Cheers, Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson, Dougie Fresh, Vivian Kubrick, daughter of Stanley Kubrick, Juliette Lewis, Audrey in Christmas Vacation, Danny Masterson, Hyde from That 70s Show. Alana Masterson, Hyde's Danny's half-sister. Also Tara Chandler in The Walking Dead, which I didn't watch, so I don't get that one. But
Yeah,
I figured a lot of people would. Well, Elizabeth Moss, this one kind of made me scratch my head, from Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
That's where I knew her from predominantly. I've seen her in other stuff since, but that just seems ironic.
I just remembered she actually is still a part of Scientology. She like won an award recently and devoted her speech to like Scientology and talking about it and thanked them. Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know. It's wild. I'm sure the celebrities at least are treated pretty good, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like they're taking advantage of the people who are just like kind of wanting to be like the celebrities, or like, I don't know. It's hard to get. I kind of wish I could see like what a church was like, but I'm not
How
going to
it
go there, you
functions.
know?
Yeah. They'd want your money.
I don't want to know that bad. And then lastly was Greta Van Susteren, news anchor for CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. She was Forbes' 94th most powerful woman in the world in 2016.
There's the powerhouse.
We also know Beck, the singer, is a Scientologist.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, that one was interesting to me. Probably just because I like Beck like the most out of like anyone we've kind of listed here.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, besides Kirstie Alley, Cheers is an amazing TV show.
I never watched that.
That 70s show is a good TV show, but fuck Danny.
Yeah, he sexually assaulted women.
Fuck
Well,
him.
Sadly. Yeah.
And you know who's treating him nice? Scientology, by giving him nice lawyers.
Oh, yeah. No, he got all the Scientology lawyers.
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
He goes down.
You'd be hooked up with Scientology lawyers.
Yeah.
That's why he's
They're
been on trial for like
well-practiced.
3 years.
Yeah, they are
Even
well
though they have
practiced.
evidence. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, have either of you watched the documentary that Leah read? Whatever. Sorry.
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, though. I've heard it's amazing. I heard it's really good.
I've watched the Joe Rogan interview multiple times. I've never watched the documentary, no.
Okay. I was just curious if you guys like.
Wait, Joe Rogan interviewed her?
Yeah, a few years ago.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but I kind of want to watch that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I'm with you, at least. I don't really want to talk about Joe Rogan right now, but...
I was just curious because I didn't know like how in depth she talked about like her experience, like if she just laid it all out on the table or kept some stuff like hidden. Like, did she completely expose them?
She must feel like safe in some way because she said like stuff that a lot of people probably wouldn't dare. I can't remember a lot in particular, but just to feel confident like saying those things, knowing how litigious the Church of Scientology is, she must feel like safe in some kind of way. Maybe because maybe it's like Bob Lazar like coming out with his story saying like they're gonna kill me. Here's what happened, you know, at least in the Bob Lazar story.
Yeah, I mean, she probably feels like she could, but I've also like seen interviews where she wants to like completely destroy the Church of Scientology.
I mean, I kind of don't blame her. Like,
No.
she grew up in it, I believe, right?
Yes, I think you're right.
I don't think she didn't finish school. I'm pretty sure I remember that. But yeah, just being angry at kind of this system for shaping your life. Like, obviously she turned into a big actress. She's doing okay, I guess. But I understand holding some hostility towards this like fucked up machine of like religion and controlling psychology. It's fucking kind of gross.
Yeah, I completely understand like why she would want to do it. Sorry, I just wanted to know if either of you had seen it and like.
I'd be down to watch it together with like red vines and a sody pop. All three of us. That'd be awesome.
That would be fun. I thought about watching That's Not Going Clear. Isn't it Going Clear? Is that a different one?
I think. Oh, actually, I don't remember. Hold on.
Scientology and the Aftermath.
Yeah, Going Clear is a different one. Scientology and the Aftermath is Leah Remini's, and it's like a mini-series.
All right. Yeah, I didn't watch either of those, but that would be interesting. I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I've seen enough that I understand that it's like kind of dangerous and corrupt and dark, but like I don't know. At least on here, it's more fun to talk about like the aliens getting nuked into volcanoes and stuff instead of like all of the allegations against these pieces of shit like at the head of Scientology.
True.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have anything else you want to say about Scientology?
I just want to say that I guess South Park got it right. Shout out to their writers. They hit the head on the nail for that.
I haven't seen the whole episode. I just saw the kind of like animation part of like this is what they believe.
Yeah, they think Stan is the reincarnation of L. Ron Hubbard. Basically, he just writes like the second book of Dynamic, whatever it's called.
Dianetics, right?
Dianetics, yeah, and so they can sell to the to all of their followers. And he basically was just like, "Can't you see this is all fake? It's just a way to get money."
Mm-hmm.
Basically
Oh
saying
yeah, the
that,
Scientology guy says that to Stan.
Yeah, to Stan. Basically saying, "Can't you see this is a scam to get people's money?"
Yeah.
I remembered something else. I'm going back for. Do you guys remember last time I mentioned his guardian angel?
Yeah, I remember you briefly talking about how he had a guardian angel.
Here, I remember there was a affirmation about the angel too.
There's nothing can intervene between you and your guardian. She cannot be displaced because she is too powerful. She does not control you. She advises you. Oh, there's another one. It's all describing his guardian.
Just with the ones that are like this of him like describing his guardian or something to himself, or like being like, yeah, you believe, like it just seems so it seemed like he didn't really like he was trying to convince himself of what he was doing.
Yeah, and like trying to convince
like he wanted to believe.
Guardian. Yeah. He's like, this is what she looks like. I know I've never seen her before, but promise me, this is what she looks like.
I like the one too if you can read music. Just I don't know if that works like the like uploads in the Matrix where you can just gain the ability by like
he's phoning it in.
Yeah. That's all I went back for. Dion, can I have you read this end quote at the very end of the document?
I'd be glad to. You don't get rich writing science fiction. If you want to get rich, you start a religion. L. Ron Hubbard. That's damn true. He knew before all of us did.
I think that kind of answers any questions you might have left.
Yeah.
Man wanted to get rich, so he started a religion.
It's a damn good idea.
He pulled it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that's all I have for Scientology. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before the end of the episode, or?
I think I'm good. I got my stuff out about crypto. That's all I really wanted to say. Get off my chest. Make sure everybody knew.
All right.
I mean, I'm working on a script right now, but I didn't like.
Oh yeah, she is. I forgot about that.
You said you're working on a script?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
I'm looking into the Warren files, and I thought the best one would be the Conjuring story, because there's a lot that happened that they didn't cover in the movie and stuff. It's interesting.
All right, awesome. Well, we'll just wrap here then. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I will thank each of you again, Dion and Sydney, because these are fun to do. And
I love it. I love to do this
Yeah.
podcast. It is the shit.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right. And outro music.